Welcome back into the 5 Sports Show. I'm Cam Murray, and what you just saw was the first ranked win on the road for West Virginia since 2019. My crack staff provided me with these stats. Since November 16th against Kansas State, number 24th Kansas State on the road in 2019 was the last time West Virginia had a road win over a ranked opponent. So let's break it down. West Virginia wins 45-35 over the 22nd ranked Houston Cougars, and we'll get right into all you need to know. First things first, if you're a booster out there, you want to provide money to West Virginia football, Scotty Fox is the guy you have to build around. All right, we've been talking about the quarterbacks all year long, the oars in the depth chart. Well, what we saw over the last few weeks and what we saw today should prove to every single fan, every single booster, every single team fan in the Big 12, Scotty Fox is the guy you got to build around. Engineered a 12-play drive on their first drive of the game to get West Virginia their first score. Scotty Fox finished 157 passing yards. He finished with 65 yards on the ground and also with 2 touchdowns. Now, we can talk about the offense all we want. Now, me and Atticus and Zach alike have kind of put a damper on the defense, so to speak. Over these last few weeks, defense has not looked great at all. In this game, forced 5 fumbles, 2 of them recovered by the Mountaineers. Also, we had 2 interceptions. I say we. They had 2 interceptions, and one of them was a pick 6. This is a Houston team that was 7-1 coming into this game. Mind you, didn't maybe have the class of wins, maybe wasn't exactly one of the strongest teams in the country, could be a little bit overrated. West Virginia's defense showed some signs of life we hadn't seen all year, and I want to share this because last podcast, the podcast before, I kind of talked about how West Virginia didn't have a sack all year. Well, not all year, aside from the Pitt game. So it had been about 4 or 5 games they had not had a single sack. Well, this game they had 3 of them, engineered by a great game by Jamori Robinson. We hadn't heard his name. We hadn't seen him play well pretty much all year. Well, he was one of the bright spots on that defense secondary as well. So Zach Alley's defense came up huge, but Rich Rod's offense did their job as well. 45-35, the most points scored on this season since Robert Morris. You know, what a great way to get your first Big 12 win. Now, obviously, this is not the pinnacle of where West Virginia wants to be. A great first Big 12 win would put them in a good spot for next season. They're still 3-6, have to win out if they want to have any chance of, I don't even know if there's a chance of them going to Arlington, but with this win like this today, some other teams losing, well, there's still plenty of games left in the season. There's 3 more games, or Colorado, Arizona State, I should say. And Texas Tech. So that's 3 more games left. If West Virginia can win, they could even out their record. But what we saw today was something, and I don't want to state it, I don't want to understate it at all. Scotty Fox is your quarterback. True freshman playing like that in the Big 12. Now, I don't want to get off topic, but Houston, in my mind, I still look at them as an American team. I'm a Temple guy. I don't like Houston at all. So I love that West Virginia beat Houston. Not one of my favorite teams in the college football scene. Not a big fan of them. So I'm happy that West Virginia could get that revenge that they missed out on the Hail Mary 2 years ago, and they got that back in stride with Scotty Fox. I mean, Scotty Fox, what he was doing on the ground is something that I don't think Houston was really prepared for, and certainly other teams in the Big 12 are going to notice the ability from Scotty Fox. I mean, he had 10 carries, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest, obviously, a 34-yarder, and passing 13 for 22. Not asking all too much from the passing side, but Jeff Weimer, 67 yards receiving. Cam Vaughn, a great game as well. These are the guys who have to step up. Weimer and Cam Vaughn specifically have stepped up very well over the last few games. So a win like this, and I talked about how it was their first road-ranked win since 2019. Well, my crack staff also provided me these stats as well, that their last ranked win will have to go back to 2021. Okay, you had 2 of those in that season. The first, Virginia Tech at home, they were the 15th ranked team in the country, and they won 27-21. In that same year, October 30th, against Iowa State at home, they won 38-31. So it's been 4 years since West Virginia had a ranked win. Incredible. I mean, now there's other teams in the country that might say that's poor. You should have had more ranked wins, but For a team like West Virginia that a lot of the hope was sort of lost over the last few weeks, you were on a 5-game losing streak, and you right the ship with a big win over Houston. 45 points in your first Big 12 win is huge, no matter who it is in the Big 12. And Houston was ranked 22, so no matter what anyone can say, they're overrated, they're not. Well, enough AP voters thought they weren't overrated and put them in the AP, so that tells you all you need to know. Now, Houston did have a pretty solid passing attack. Aside from those interceptions, 300 yards were allowed in the pass game by West Virginia, but that's obviously going to get washed away because of the interceptions and the win as well. So, a lot to look at from this win. I'm sure some fans can just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath at this point, okay? You got your first Big 12 win. Rich Rod's offense is looking good, and you have the guy at quarterback. There's no more worries about who's at quarterback, and there should not be any more worries about who was going to be the quarterback of this team going forward. All right, Nico Marchiol, he was really good for this team earlier in the year. He had enough guts and he had enough will to will you guys to that backyard brawl win. Scotty Fox in that Robert Morris game, that was the flash. That run down the sideline, that was what we should have expected from Scotty Fox, and maybe we should have seen that coming all year long, that he was the guy that was going to get put in. People thought Khalil Wilkins was that guy. Well, over the last few games, I think it's pretty clear to say that Scotty Fox is that guy. So we're going to do something right now because West Virginia did win. I'm sure a lot of fans are excited. We're going to go and we're going to read some of the comments. We just posted the final score on our Facebook. We're going to take a look at some comments here. A lot of reactions so far. So we got our first one I'm looking at, Roxanne Light. Roxanne Light. All right, I don't know who that is. Not the Roxanne we know at WDTV, but a different one. All-around improvement. Offensive line giving the needed time to execute plays. Defense stepped up with more control. Great job creating turnovers in our favor. Very impressive. Proud to be a Mountaineer. Now, Sean Murray, great last name on that guy. Awesome game. Rich Rod still knows how to coach. A bunch of awesome gifts in the comments. Fans should be excited. I mean, this is a win that maybe people didn't expect. Now, Vegas, I know I don't want to throw my guys on the bus. Maybe it's a whole management thing. They don't want me to talk about betting. I don't want to talk about it, all right? We don't want to be talking about betting, bet on this team, bet on that team. I don't care what you do with your money, but if you happen to bet on West Virginia plus the points, 12.5, I believe it was, 13.5, you're a winner. And put it on their money line. I think they were plus 400. $10 would get you 50. It's pretty good. Buffalo Wild Wings, maybe a little bit of a, I don't know. Who knows? Some wings, some pizza, whatever you need. But right here, the best win of West Virginia's season. Robert Morris, I wouldn't really count that. Backyard Brawl was a pretty good win as well. Comeback win. No, I consider this to be the best win of the season because your defense stepped up, special teams stepped up, all three phases played very well. And yes, the Backyard Brawl win will have that kind of aura and maybe that sort of vase of this was our signature win, but you beat a ranked opponent in the first year of head coach Rich Rodriguez, a season that looked completely over at 2-6. You're 3-6 now, and you might be one of the most interesting 3-6 teams right now in the Big 12. You're not the worst team in the Big 12. You have your win. So where does West Virginia go from here? I'd be interested to hear in the comments how you guys are responding to this win. Obviously, anytime you get a win, it's special. You got to cherish it. Only a certain amount of Saturdays in the college football season. So whenever you get a win, you got to take it as seriously as possible. But leave us some comments in the YouTube, in the Facebook as well. We want to know, where are you guys feeling right now? It was a bit bleak, 2-5, 2-6 coming into this game, and you get a win, 45 points on a Big 12 opponent. Scotty Fox looks great. The offensive line had a lot of improvement, and more importantly, you got the ball and you drove down on your first drive. I don't think any fan would have any problem with that. Should keep that momentum continuing into the next few games. And we'll see you guys next week against Colorado at home. But be sure, first and foremost, to like and subscribe and comment below all your thoughts on this game. We want to hear it. We want to make sure all you guys are heard. We're reading all the comments in next week's show with Atticus and Zach. But for this 5-Sports show, a big win over Houston, 45-35 is the final, and you beat your first-ranked opponent since 2021 and first-ranked opponent on the road since 2019. I'm Cam Murray. Enjoy your first Big 12 win of the Rich Rod era.